The short, but some things just can't be explained in 30 seconds. South Africa reproduces inequality at a structural level within their education. And we do this because we introduced marketized education in 1994 on the policy advice from the World Bank. And while the World Bank may have reframed themselves as a development agency, at the end of the day, they are a bank, and they will always prioritize the repayment of our IMF loans over the public good. Also, a side note is that this policy advice had already been introduced into Malawi a few years earlier, and it had devastating effects. There were higher dropout rates amongst women and low-income students. So what's marketized education? Well, it's when schools market themselves to attract fee-paying parents, and they do this by advertising that they have the best teachers, or they have amazing resources like libraries and art centers and a fucking golf team or an archery team. And they also do this by presenting their high-performing students and their matric pass rates. The problem is that wealth ends up being pooled within these schools. So basically, when schools are able to attract higher fee-paying parents, they're able to use that money to attract better teachers with competitive salaries. They can afford better resources like their art centers and their golf teams or whatever, and they're also able to offer scholarships to high-performing students from low-income areas. While this is an amazing thing for the student, the flip side on a structural level to all of this is that schools within low-income areas don't have the same financial resources from school fees. So they find it difficult to attract good teachers. They don't have the same type of resources. And it's not just soccer fields and archery teams and whatnot. It's basic things like stationery and chalk and printing costs and electricity. And on top of that, when wealthy schools poach these high-performing students from them, they're not able to market their high performers or their pass rate in the same way that wealthy schools can. At the same time, parents in these communities often can't pay their school fees, and teachers within these schools are battling with massive teacher to student ratios where it's like 40 or 50 students to a teacher, where a teacher is completely unable to give specialized attention to a student because they're just trying to manage the classroom. What this means is that wealth remains the major determiner of whether you're going to succeed. So while our middle class may have racially diversified, the reality is that if you are black and poor, you are likely to stay within the cycle of structural and generational poverty. If you'd like to learn more about the politics of education in South Africa, like my video.